I want you to pay attention to something. The things that they say. The time is coming when better days are ahead. Your dreams are within reach. It's always inferring that whatever you have now in the current moment is not good enough because better times are coming. You have to understand this is the reason why you're convinced that your reality is unbearable because you are actually unconsciously projecting these energies. Because I've already said this before, the power of suggestive influence is immeasurable if they can convince you that if what they're saying is the truth, then they've got you dead to rights because of the placebo effect. Look up the placebo effect, and this gives you a little bit of an insight into how the mind works. Give you an understanding. There's an old TV show called MASH, and these are Army medical doctors during the Korean War in the 1950s. Now, what happened was in one episode, they had a slew of soldiers that had come in freshly wounded from battle, and they ran out of morphine. And both of the doctors were, having a little conversation. They said, "What do we do? We don't have morphine, and the supplies are, not coming in anytime because we're in the middle of a battle zone." So they concocted an ingenious idea, knowing how human psychology works. So what they decided to do was they said, okay, let's take those little paper cups and put sugar capsules in them, sugar tablets. But let's tell these patients that it's a super medication, 10 times more powerful than morphine. And so what they did was they put sugar tablets in those little tiny paper cups. And for each patient, they were like, the patient asked the doctor, what is this? Oh, this is a super intense medication that's 10 times more powerful than morphine. And since the doctor was telling them, and they have faith in the doctor and they put their trust in the doctor, they believed that what the doctor was telling them was the truth. Their mind was convinced that this is the truth. Okay, doc. And then not even 10, 15 minutes later, all of these soldiers that are, mortally wounded, screaming and crying, they're all laying back in the bed with just chilling out, smiles on their faces. And that's the placebo effect. That's the power of suggestive influence on the mind. And that's how it works. So you have to just be very cautious with this wording. The time is coming. Better days ahead. Your dreams are within reach. You know, good times are just around the corner. The future holds promise. You see, they're telling you you're addicted to the promises of the future, which means that you're now abandoning your only place that you can operate is your present moment, the here and the now. So you have to be very cautious. If you hear somebody say better times are ahead, good days are coming, the time is coming. So no, it's here right now. How can time come? Because time is an illusion. Time isn't coming. Time is an illusion. There's no beginning of time. Time is an illusion. You can't travel through time. You can't travel through an illusion. But they make you think you can. As long as they can make you think you can, that's how they control you. You have to think for yourself. The divine doesn't work like this. Everything is the here and the now. There is no such thing as the past or the future. There is only the here and the now, in this physical. And yes, the past can be changed, but that happens when you return to the the formless non-physical. It doesn't happen here, you know. But I'm just saying, just catch the wording, check the subliminals. Don't just get a cursory glance at this stuff and accept it at face value because you're being duped. It's all in the wording. I remember one time this guy was telling me a story when he was in the Navy, and he had been there for a couple of years. So he was like, one of the not a senior officer or anything like that, but he was one of the higher ups where he had been there and he was established. So one of the new guys had just recruited, and he was just found his way onto the aircraft carrier. So they were telling him, okay, I want you to go down to this department and get me this and get me this, and they run this kid ragged. They were just messing with him. So they're like, okay, I want you to go to this department, get me a bucket of bolts, and I need oil, and I need tools and such. So he go down and come back up and get it. Then they said to him, catch this. Then they said to him, I want you to go down to the boiler room and I want you to get me a bucket of steam and bring it back up. A bucket of steam. And since he wasn't paying attention, he didn't know anybody. He went down to the boiler room. He was asking them, can I have a bucket of steam? And they were like, what are you, freaking crazy? Are you out of your mind? There's no such thing. So he came back and he was like, well, they don't have a bucket of steam down there. And everybody was laughing at him. It's like, you're a fool. We played you because you didn't think. You didn't listen to what we're saying. Like another old joke is that I remember this guy and his girlfriend, he told me, went to an automotive store and he sent her into the automotive store. He says, listen, yeah, I'm running low on blinker fluid. Go ask the guy if you can get me a can of blinker fluid. So she went in there and she's like, the guy was asked, can I help you? Yes, can I have a can of blinker fluid, please? He was like, blinker fluid. There's no, we don't sell that. He's like, she was adamant. She started arguing with the guy. My boyfriend said he needs blinker fluid, so I need it now. Because she didn't know any better. She's looking for something that doesn't exist. You see where I'm going with this?